Hello users, and welcome back to another episodic installation of Above It All, the series in which I adore and worship Bernard Sanders. So, I got a bunch of these stickers, of course. Anybody who was a participant in the campaign knows what stickers I'm talking about. I got a collection. I'm going to sell them on eBay when I'm 70 years old. So, Biden and Sanders allies create unity task forces to explore policy initiatives. So, this may be controversial in my audience. I think this is a good thing. Now, there's literally, the way I see it, no downside to this. Now, you can criticize it for being cringe, which, I'll get to that. But, why not? Right? Like, it's only May. Biden is like an oil spill in the sense that the oil, or like the toothpaste is not going back in the tube. The oil's there. It's all over the water. It's already damaged the ecosystem. You can clean it up, but that's going to take multiple years, and we don't have that amount of time. So at this point, if you don't know my opinion on the Biden campaign, I made a video about it yesterday, and I'll just reference that. Go watch my 30-minute video from yesterday if you want me to go in depth on the Biden campaign. But the thing here that I wanted to highlight is Biden has a quote. He says, Biden added that he wants to ensure that the U.S. does not just reset the clock back to a time before Donald Trump. And this is something that I've noticed an actual pivot, and it's actually super interesting. Now, when Hillary Clinton ensured herself to getting the nomination, she did not pivot to the left in any capacity, really. Like, she did kind of adopt a lot of the policy platforms and added it at the convention, but keep in mind we haven't had the convention yet. But when she was the presumptive nominee, she did not really pivot left. She kind of stayed in the center lane, pivoting right a little bit. And I do find it interesting that Biden's pivoting left. And now, the thing here that's key is this is not good enough. Now, everyone knows that this is not good enough. I'll just read the other highlighted text real quick. One of the co-chairs of the Climate Change Task Force will be Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a prominent supporter of Sanders and a leader in the progressive movement. She will co-chair the panel along with former Secretary of State John Kerry. That you could write a sitcom about that. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, John Kerry, the gruff old loser, like war veteran, like zombified, kind of like he kind of looks like a mummy, with like AOC. Like, that's a total sitcom. Like, I just want to point that out. That is a total sitcom. So now while I discuss the rest of this, I'm just going to put this image onto the screen. So I think this is overall a good thing. Obviously, it's not good enough, and obviously this is where pressure begins. If you have any sort of connection to the Biden campaign, like, if you're on their email list or whatever, fill out their surveys and say, I want this, this, and that. Call them up if you have their phone number. Say, I want this, this, and that. You want to call up AOC and say, do not fuck us over. Ask for more. Go further. You want to call Bernard's office. You want to do all this stuff. Obviously, you don't want to say fucking shit and cock. That's chances are when you say fuck, shit, or cock, people are going to take you less seriously in a professional context. So, but I do think this is a good thing. This is a good start. Now, obviously, Biden needs to just go, and this whole sinking ship campaign really just needs to transition to somebody else. But honestly, here's the thing, and this is my argument, and I will debate anybody on this. As I say at the top right of all of my videos, I accept any debate challengers. Hit me up. But here's the thing about this that I think. If they do switch out Biden, they'll probably end up switching him out for Andrew Cuomo. Unless they just do a resumption of the primaries and nullify Biden's delegates, which that's so unlikely, especially when he's just got it locked up. And again, this goes back into the whole thing is the Democrats don't want to win. Now, when I say the Democrats, I mean the party elite. Biden, I'm sure Biden wants to win. I'm sure Biden's campaign wants to win. But I don't think the Democratic establishment, like the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, all the Neera Tandons of the world, the people with the jobs, the people with the connections, I don't think they care if they win or lose. And that's because fundraising is going to go well either way, and they've got their jobs either way. And so if there's anything we can do, if the Biden campaign is going to give us all of these outreach arms, I think we should take them. Now, we shouldn't just take crumbs and then be content with that. If you've got AOC on a panel, like on a task force, and you've got Bernard on a task force, I have faith in at least Bernard Sanders that he's going to continue fighting for good things. AOC is a little wishy-washy. I think she's someone who wants to please, and she ends up kind of putting herself in awkward situations a lot of the time, I'll say, with that kind of intent to please. Like, I remember this whole Elizabeth Warren thing. If there's one thing I have no nonsense for, it's Elizabeth Warren. But AOC should have really been on to that. That Elizabeth Warren was a snake and that she was a genuine threat to the entire, to millions of people's lives. Elizabeth Warren is like a historical foil, that will go down in history as one of the most terrible people of all time. But, and so, pretending that she's, a nice person, honestly, Biden is a rapist. I would rather be locked in a room with Joe Biden and forced to have an hour-long conversation with him than Elizabeth Warren. I would rather Joe Biden be president than Elizabeth Warren. And this may be just my personal, vindictiveness, but, I fucking hate Elizabeth Warren, but that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is the task force. Now, again, this is the part where we need to apply pressure. There's a lot of people out there that say nothing will be good enough. I don't think so. I think there is definitely something that is good enough. I think having renewable energy by 2030, I think that is good enough. I think if you can push the Joe Biden campaign to adopt something very similar or just flat out like the Green New Deal, I think at that point, we're rolling. I think at that point we've got something to talk about. Now, I've said this before. I'm planning on voting whoever has the highest likelihood in my state to not have Donald Trump win my state. My state is North Carolina. So I've told you that before. Now, I get it. Biden's a terrible motherfucker. Now, I'm interested in basically pushing him as far as possible. And if it ends up that we don't push him that far before the election, as soon as this pandemic is over, you bet your ass I'm going to get onto there. I'm going to get out there. I will take a trip out to Washington, D.C. if I need to. And I will just try to do more on the ground organizing as soon as this pandemic's over. Now, the problem is the pandemic is probably not going to be over anytime soon. And I'm stuck in a small town, so I'm just going to make YouTube videos for now. And do some other stuff behind the scenes that I'm working on, but it's kind of hard. But my thing is, again, it's not good enough. And that's clear. It's better than nothing. And personally, at this point, the left has no leverage. And I can't see any leverage. When you combine the fact that the Biden campaign is actually at least trying. Biden has changed his message from nothing will fundamentally change to we can't go back to how things were before the pandemic. And I think that's good. I think Biden has been pushed left. Now, has he been pushed left enough? No. Has he been pushed more left than Hillary Clinton? No. We have a ways to go. But as far as this stuff goes, I mean, again, at this point, I have little faith in the electoral process. Now, as long as Trump is unelected, as long as he does not win a second term, I don't give a fuck. Because at that point, we can just go back to doing what we were doing before Donald Trump, and that's organizing the Bernie coalition. That's organizing, people that are not dying, not dead on the ground. And this is the whole thing is maybe I'll make a separate video about this, but if you're an accelerationist and you're like, voting for Trump will make people wake up, I'm sorry, That's a fascist ideology. I cannot buy. I cannot play around with that bullshit. If you think sacrificing hundreds of thousands of people's lives so that other people, ethereal other people that you can't even really identify, might wake up, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just stupid. You might as well sacrifice a goat into a volcano. It's just dumb as hell. I like to work with what we've got. Now, again, this is not good enough, and you should apply pressure. But instead of just tweeting on Twitter about, like, oh, this is shitty and AOC's a sellout, call their offices, ask them to not let up, demand, like, renewable energy by 2030, demand that, no more oil and gas subsidies. Hell, even demand that all oil and gas people throughout the Biden campaign will be fired immediately and will also not be chosen in any cabinet positions. I think that's extremely important, and there's a lot of work here to do, but it's a good start, and we'll see where it goes, because here's the thing. What the fuck else is AOC gonna do? Like, Nancy Pelosi, especially after this new corona relief, thing came out, it's not great. So, they could theoretically create a progressive bloc, but they would need 40 people to do that in any substantial way. And then we're living in such a precarious situation where people just want their cash relief. And if AOC and the squad and whoever clings to that for a progressive bloc to hold up this bill occurs, they are not really experienced enough to handle the optics of this. And again, that's my huge problem with AOC is she's pretty cool. As far as millennials go, she's, she does the epic emoji memes and I like her, but she's not great at optics. She's not great at handling a crisis, and I think that's already pretty demonstrable by now. So I really don't know what we can do in the House. And again, as far as electoralism goes, I'm just presenting you what the situation is. And I might think it's bleak, but that's just because I don't really have faith in electoral politics. But, I like to comment on it sometimes. But I mean, I will end this video like I end all the other videos from now on. Call up your local community. You got a high school friend you haven't talked to in 3 or 4 years. Call them up, ask how they are, see if they need anything. Just be nice to the people in your life, because for all you know, this could be your last opportunity to ever talk to them. And, I don't know, I've already known someone who knows someone who's died, so it's one of those things where it's at this point, I think it was a poll done, 60% of Americans know somebody who's got COVID, and that doesn't necessarily mean a family friend or a family member, but just someone who knows someone, or your friend's friend, or your brother's friend's friend, or something like that. Someone tangentially related to your life has COVID, and at this point, and that's only going to get worse. So, I mean, I think this is a good step. And obviously you can't just ignore it and just let it roll its own course. Of course you should try to actively pressure it to be better. But I think it's a step in the right direction. And if Biden's campaign does a lot more of these outreaches and not just with climate, again, that's good. I mean, my thing here is I find the possibility of Bernie Sanders becoming the nominee at this point to be essentially 0%, 0.1%. And as much as I dislike that kind of outcome, and as much as that's disappointing, and as much as that's horrific and depressing, and you look at 3 months ago, you look at the Nevada caucus, and it's that's the best day of my life. I thought, holy shit, maybe the world's not going to fall apart. And then a month later, the coronavirus starts killing people that I know, and then Biden's the nominee, and then the sexual assault allegations start going really, really hardcore, and then there's more evidence that basically, Joe Biden's a terrible fucking sack of shit, right? So I don't know. As far as accelerationism is concerned, I feel we've been accelerating for a while now. But I don't know, I'm just kind of babbling. We'll see how this goes. Definitely don't put this in the rear view and just ignore it. This is something that, if Biden continues to do this, we need to make sure that he doesn't do it in the neoliberal, oh, we're going to lower Medicare to 60 kind of way. Because that was a flop. And I think the Biden campaign realizes how much of a flop that was, given that they're doing these overtures. So, it's not great. It's not great at all. And we got to do better. But this is the thing, is we can't do better with Trump. And this is my argument. Is every now and again, these Democrat ghouls are going to want to get some sort of optical win. They're going to want to have something that's on the board blanket good, just to feel good about themselves. Because the thing about Democrats is they have this ego that isn't just directly tied to power. A lot of Democrats, especially the kind of like Joe Biden kind of guys, they just want to feel like they're helping people. And so, like, you can work with that. Whereas Trump doesn't really, like, Trump's real main goal is power and therefore winning re-election. And so, under 4 years of Donald Trump versus Biden, I think it's a clear winner on which one is better. Now, again, this is like a people's argument. I'm not going to get into this. I'm sorry. But what do you think? Let me know what you think. If you don't think it's good enough, call their offices. Tell them to do better. Renewable energy, ban fossil fuel subsidies, all that kind of stuff needs to be required for any real Bernie-like platform. But it's a good start, and I'm curious to see where this goes. My eyes are open. We'll see how it goes.